Shalom, this is Yah is Magnified, and I'm back with another informative video. Today's video is titled Voluntary Declaration of Parentage, VDOP. But before I tackle this subject, as always, I must state for the record, I'm not a lawyer, I do not practice law, and I do not pretend to. All my videos are for informational and educational purposes only. They're all facts and all truth. Nothing more, nothing less. So with that being said, guys, I need you all to hit that like button. And also, if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. And also hit that notification bell so you all can be notified as I'm dropping these powerful videos. So without further ado, guys, let's get to it. Okay, so now, what you all can see on the screen is a voluntary declaration of parentage form coming from the state of California, okay? I will go over this form in its entirety, but before I do, we need to get the proper understanding of what exactly is a declaration. Because once you find out what a declaration is, you will have better understanding of the form that's presented on the screen, okay? So without further ado, let's go to the definition for the term declaration. Okay, so now let's pick this up at the top, highlighted area where it states declaration. And it reads, a formal statement, proclamation, or announcement, especially one embodied in an instrument. So now, guys, there are two forms of declarations, okay? You can simply speak your declaration out loud, okay? But your declaration becomes more powerful when you write it down in the form of an instrument. That's why it says after that, see affidavit. Why? Because affidavit is another form of a declaration that can be placed as an instrument, okay? So when we look at the voluntary acknowledgement of paternity or the voluntary declaration of paternity, that is simply what, guys? That's a written instrument, okay? Also a written declaration, okay? But to further prove that, let's scroll down to what? Declaration of legitimacy. And it reads, a formal or legal pronouncement that a child is legitimate. Okay, so again, guys, so when you're looking at the voluntary declaration of paternity, that's basically a declaration of legitimacy. That's it. That's all, guys. But let's continue on. So now let's find out what the term instrument is, since we know that the voluntary declaration of paternity is in fact an instrument. So let's go there. Let's go to the term instrument. All right, so now let's pick this up at the top, the blue highlighted area where it states instrument, and it reads a written document. We can simply stop right there, guys, because that's all an instrument is. An instrument is simply a written document. But you guys know me, you have to get down to the bottom and dig a little bit deeper so you get full understanding of what's going on. And it reads a formal or legal document in writing, such as what, guys? Such as a contract, deed, will, bond, or lease. Okay, so like I was telling you all before, and since I came on YouTube, that everything in America runs on a continuous series of contracts. When I say everything, guys, I mean everything, even the acknowledgement of paternity, okay? Because as we can see now that the voluntary declaration of paternity, and we will go over that form, is in fact an instrument, okay? If it's an instrument, it's in the form of what? A contract. And it's just that simple, guys, okay? So the voluntary acknowledgement of paternity or the voluntary declaration of paternity is in fact a contract, guys. I've been telling you all that from the beginning, okay? But let's further prove that. Now let's go to the second paragraph, which is highlighted in red, and it states what? Anything reduced to writing. That's simply what an instrument is. So by voluntarily signing an acknowledgement of paternity, that's the instrument, aka the contract, that's what? Reduced to writing. That holds you what? That holds you underneath the state to do what? To participate in the state's program, and to what? To provide the legal duty of support that you admit to by signing what? By signing the voluntary declaration of paternity or the voluntary acknowledgement of paternity, or simply admitting paternity in open court. And it's just that simple, guys. But let's continue. And it states a document of a formal or solemn character, then it states a writing given as a means of affording evidence. Case law to support that. But let's continue on. It states a document or writing which gives formal expression to a legal act or agreement. So again, guys, what I was telling you all, that by signing an acknowledgement of paternity, you are now creating what? The legal duty of support. So once the child mom goes down there, she says this is the evidence that he must pay child support, which is the voluntary acknowledgement of paternity that will be used against you in court. Now that creates the legal duty and or the legal act or the agreement. That's it. That's all, guys, as stated underneath the terms of the instrument. But let's continue. Then it states for the purpose of what? Creating, securing, modifying, or what? Terminating the right. So not only can they use that form to what? To create a right, you can also create your own instruments to do what? To terminate that right, guys. And it's just that simple. But let's continue. It states what? A writing executed and delivered as evidence of an act or an agreement, okay? And it's just that simple, guys. But let's go down to the last paragraph where it states, in the law of evidence, anything which may be presented as evidence to the senses of the adjudicating tribunal. And it's just that simple, guys. But to further prove this, let's go to another one of my dictionaries. I want to read the term instrument out of that as well. I'm not going to read the whole definition because it's basically the same. I just want to show you the certain parts that are left out in certain dictionaries, okay? So now let's go to my other dictionary to get more understanding. Alright, so now let's pick this up at the bottom left-hand corner, highlighted area where it states instrument. Now let's read it. It states a formal or legal document in writing, such as what, guys? Such as a contract, deed, will, bond, or lease. Same as the last definition we read out of the last book. But let's continue on. Let's dig a little bit deeper. And it states what? A writing that satisfies the requisites of negotiability prescribed by UCC Article 3. Okay, so I want to stop right here real quick, guys, because I want to show you something that I did like 5-6 years ago when I made a video titled Child Support in the UCC. For those who haven't watched that video, I'm going to put the link to that video in the description box. So when this video go off, simply click on that video so you can get more understanding of negotiable instruments. But let's continue on, okay? So now let's go to the insert from that video or the screenshot of that video. I just want to go over that real quick just to show you all as well on what's going on. So without further ado, let's go there. Okay, so now as you all can see on the screen, this is in fact a screenshot from the video that I was just telling you guys about. So now this is a response from the Attorney General, okay, to my documents that I sent to the Attorney General to get the arrears and the whole case terminated, okay? And it reads this, guys. It reads, the essence of plaintiff warning debt appears to be that the child support arrears that has been confirmed by courts with proper jurisdiction can be invalidated, right, by manipulation and misapplication of certain portions of the Uniform Commercial Codes. So again, guys, when you look at the documents that I showed you all from my case, and it states that what? It states that the petitioner withdrew the case. That's because what, guys? Because the application that was properly used, okay? The Attorney General know they didn't have nowhere to go but to dismiss the case. And they didn't want to put the reason why it was dismissed because it will do what, guys? It will continue to blow up their spot. It will expose the fraud and everything else that's going on along with it. So again, let's read it one more time. And it reads, the essence of plaintiff's warning debt appears to be that the child support arrears that has been confirmed by courts with proper jurisdiction, right? So they're claiming, or the Attorney General is claiming, that these arrears was confirmed by courts with proper jurisdiction, right? And then she turned around and said that it can be what? Invalidated. Okay? How can it be invalidated, guys? By the use of the Uniform Commercial Codes. And it's just that simple, okay? So I just wanted to show this to you guys to let you all know that you are dealing with instruments, aka presentments, and understand why you're using them and understand what you're sending and why you're sending in order for you to get results, okay? So now let's go back to the VDOP, which is the Voluntary Declaration of Paternity, so we can go over that so you can all see what majority of you guys are signing on to when you're receiving these instruments, not understanding what they're doing and how they're being used against you guys. So without further ado, let's go back to the VDOP. Okay, so now, as you all can see on the screen, is in fact, again, the Voluntary Declaration of Parentage, the VDOP. Let's pick this up at the top where it states alternatives, rights, responsibilities, and consequences, okay? Now, let's pick this up at the top where it states, I declare, under the penalty of perjury, under the laws of the state of California, that I have read and understand the following statements, guys. So the reason why I have that highlighted, because that's a main point of this document. You're simply agreeing that you have read this document all the way through, okay? And my ARC that I'm working with, he signed the document, okay? But guess what we're going to do? We're still going to fight. And it's just that simple, guys. But let's continue. It states alternatives. Then it reads, parentage may be established by bullet point 1, VDOP. Then it reads, filing a signed voluntary declaration of parentage, VDOP, with the California Department of Child Support Services, DCSS, Parentage Opportunity Program, POP. Second bullet point, you can do a court action, and it reads, filing an action in court to declare you a legal parent. Then let's go to the third bullet point. Presumptions. Some people are presumed to be the parents under California law. You may want to speak to an attorney or contact a family law facilitator to determine if this applies to you. Now let's go down to the second highlighter area. Start right here. And it reads, the following legal rights, responsibilities, and consequences applies as a result of the completion and filing of this VDOP. Then it states rights, guys. So now let's pay close attention to the rights that you have after it's been signed. And it reads what? It legally establishes a parental relationship so that each parent will have the right to seek custody or visitation and to be consulted about the adoption of the child. Bullet point number 2. It authorizes both parents' names to be placed on the child's birth certificate. Bullet point number 3. It allows for the child to benefit from healthcare coverage, inheritance laws, Social Security, or veterans dependent or survivor benefits from each parent if eligible. Then the fourth bullet point, guys, notice it. It's highlighted in red for a reason, and it reads, each parent has the right to what? To rescind this VDOP. Okay? So you have a right to do what, guys? To rescind it after you signed it. But let's continue. It states, if I decide to rescind/cancel this VDOP, I will need to file a VDOP rescission form, DCSS 0915, with the DCSS POP within 60 days from the date that I signed this VDOP. If I was under the age of 18 years when I signed the VDOP, I have until 60 days after I reach 18 to rescind it. Then the fifth bullet point states, again highlighted in red, it states, each parent has a 2-year period to challenge this VDOP. Then it reads, the challenge is permitted only under limited circumstances and is barred 2 years after the date this VDOP becomes effective. It also may be invalidated. So again, guys, look at that term, invalidated. Remember, on the form that I showed you all before we came to this form, that the Attorney General simply responded to my document saying, by the misuse of the UCC codes, you can invalidate a court order and all the rest. But it's not the misuse that invalidates, it's the proper use that invalidates. Like by properly filing a rescission of the document, then that does what, guys? It automatically invalidates this form. Okay? So in order for something to invalidate anything, it must be properly done. And it's just that simple, guys. But let's continue on. It states, if either signature is able to prove that they signed the form because of fraud, duress, or material mistake of fact. And it's just that simple, guys. But let's continue. Then it states, responsibilities. First bullet point, it establishes a duty in each parent to provide financial support for the child. So again, guys, that's why I have that highlighted in red, because by signing this form, it creates the responsibility, which is in fact the what? The legal duty of support. That's why it states again. Let's read the first bullet point. It establishes a duty in each parent to provide financial support for the child. Now let's read bullet point number 2. It states, it establishes a duty in each parent to provide health care coverage for this child if available at a reasonable rate. Now let's go to the consequences, because this is the main part. That's why I have it highlighted in red, because you all need to understand the consequences that comes about when you sign these forms, okay? And it reads what? By signing this VDOP, I am waiving all the following constitutional rights. So again, guys, let's read that one more time. You heard me correctly. It states, by signing this VDOP, I am waiving all the following constitutional rights. So now, for those who are in child support and you go to these courts arguing about the Constitution while you're in a child support court, the judge will simply look at you and tell you right in your face, if you mention the Constitution one more time in this courtroom, then I will hold you in contempt. Why is that, guys? Because the court knows that you voluntarily waived all your constitutional rights once you entered into a contract, once you signed this document. So again, guys, the Constitution goes out of the window once you're entered into a contract, and it's just that simple. That's why the judge will simply tell you, if you mention the Constitution again in this court, then I will hold you in contempt, and it's just that simple. But now let's read underneath, and it states, the right to receive notice of any hearing regarding the parentage of this child, right? Then it states what? The right to have a trial to decide whether I'm the parent of this child. Then it states again, guys, the right to have the opportunity to present my case in court, including the right to present and cross-examine witnesses and have an attorney appointed to represent me if I cannot afford one in an action filed against me by a local child support agency regarding the establishment of my parentage or enforcement of my child support obligation for this child. So these are all the things that you guys are waiving, such as your constitutional rights that can help you all receive remedy. But let's continue. It states, the second bullet point, by again highlighted in red, by signing this VDOP, I am consenting to the establishment of my parentage of this child, and thereby assume all the rights and responsibilities of a parent under the laws of California. Okay, guys, let's go to the third bullet point. It states what? By signing this VDOP, again it's highlighted in red, I am consenting to the other parent signing being legally named the parent of this child. Okay, so now let's go to the third bullet point. It states, if either of the signatories to this form are under the age of 18 years when they sign this form, the form will not legally establish parentage until 60 days after both signatures are 18 years old or legally emancipated. Now the last and final bullet point, guys. Let's read this. It states, highlighted in red, guys, upon the filing of this VDOP with DCSSPOP, each signatory submits to personal jurisdiction, right? So by signing this form, you automatically what? Submits to personal jurisdiction in California in any proceeding to challenge this VDOP. So again, guys, they automatically wants to place personal jurisdiction over you. Why? Because like I've been telling you all, challenging personam jurisdiction can help you win the case. So they're catching on, and because they're catching on, they want you all to waive your personal jurisdictional challenges in order for them to proceed forward. How many legal documents I have to show you guys that when they are forcing you all by signing or by participating to voluntarily give up your constitutional rights or constitutional challenges to challenge personam jurisdiction in these state courts, okay? But look, that's all I'm going to do for today. If you all need my help, hit me up at my email at yahuahismagnified@gmail.com. Let's get this right wisdom, this right knowledge, and this right understanding. Also, shout out to everyone who's been buying my merch and purchasing my merch, guys. I truly appreciate that, man. Shout out to all the love that I've been receiving, and all the new subscribers and stuff coming through to check me out, helping my channel grow and everything else. I truly appreciate that, guys. So again, that's all I'm gonna do for today. With that being said, I say shalom.